This Google Doc was posted on r/Vtuber drama 19 hours ago with the title, "I seriously need more people to see this Google Doc." And then the subreddit turned on her, so she deleted her post. And I think also released a YouTube video. Maybe we can just watch a video. But like some of these comments are like going through page 11, she calls a person terrible for deciding not to reply to her. I don't get this doc so far. Edit. I kind of got it of page 13. Ultimately, she seems to be blaming Kumi for not answering a work question sometime after a Discord call, where she described her unfortunate situation to Kumi. That blame turned into resentment after noticing Kumi's rapid audience growth. Then she began to attribute malice to any action that led Kumi to grow in popularity. That is just not a good way to evaluate both yours and others' growth. Edit number 2, the rest of the doc is the point of view of a person that has publicly attributed malice to mundane actions of another person and is shocked that her wrong isn't righted by her admittedly very unfortunate situation. And then reading edit number 3, reading through this entire doc, I don't want to hate Vera since she was and still is going through an incredible hard life situation, but that doesn't excuse the fact that she still hasn't understood that all her hatred of Kumi and distrust of VTubers at large is caused from a single misinterpreted inaction. Still, it could mean that the situation could be resolved by Vera calmly understanding just that. I am on page 7 and I'm struggling to keep going. This feels very woe is me and why her and not me. Taking everything said to this point 100% truth, which almost never is, Kumi dumped them as a friend, and based on the writing before that, they seem exhausting, so can't blame Kumi. I'll keep reading, but the first impression is bad. I'll edit if anything change. Edit, I'm done. I can't anymore. Page 10. Maybe we do need to read this. They even know she dropped me for optics, not just anyone, but someone who's literally concerned for her next meal. Oh god, she's so dramatic. I'm sorry this is happening to you, but fuck right off. No one owes you anything. Everyone has their own stories. Some are more up, some are more down. But to use yours to try to take someone else's down pisses me the fuck off. I'm still stuck in a place trying anything I can think of with no success, and no one else I know knows what to do either. Luck, skill, and timing are all required to make it. This entire thing, it just feels like they're upset someone to stop talking to them. Well, you'd be surprised how many insecure and mentally ill VTubers would make up an entire fanfiction out of literally nothing. Literally just nothing. Let's watch her video, I guess.
So, tonight is likely going to be the last time that I have my monitors. I'm going to be taking these down, packing them up, and then moving them to my second location so that I can get on the train on Sunday a lot smoother. So I can run away for the second time. Never to come back. And I will be losing the entirety of my family, immediate and extended. Because someone wanted to be a felon and use my info.
What?
Now
Wait,
at this point,
go on and hate me. It's not like it's new to me. And she links the Google Doc. People are supporting her. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching.
I think fuck it.
I feel like we're missing context.
I think at this point, what else do I have to lose? I'm about to be on a train to go to the street and then have to go through legal hell just to get my identity situated because someone wanted to use my info. So then I can get a job. And then...
Yeah, we skipped like 3 episodes or something.
In the description, here's a docky. You can read about some high school ass mean girls who made everything that much harder. Kind of the whole reason why I don't collab with anybody. I started collabing with myself because I don't trust people. You can post it for me. I'm not gonna have my computer after tonight. I'm not gonna have anyone after Sunday.
Is she
I
running out of
tried
her
to
house?
do as much content as I could before I left for you guys.
Yeah, I think it's separate from what's going on with Kumi.
To leave behind something, and all I got was maybe 2 weeks out. So you go on ahead. Have fun with that. You call me crazy too. You call me a problem too.
I feel kind of bad for her now.
I'm used to being vilified and treated like shit.
Oh, hi, just viewing. I've been in a lot of her streams, and generally, I think if she wasn't so hooked on being wronged, I think she would have been pretty entertaining. Her whistling, for one, is neat. Oh, she whistles. Unfortunately, a lot of people are really stuck in their victim mentality, and it's really bad to think like that. For your, like you stopping yourself from doing incredible things. Humans have incredible resilience and strength, and even when you feel tapped out, you can always squeeze out a little more. The Reddit
Really,
comment said
I
her situation was bad, but doesn't justify the blame on other creators. Yeah, I think that's a general consensus.
I'm used to it.
Oh, she got her identity stolen, but by somebody online or IRL? And why does she have to move from her parents' house if she got her identity stolen? That's crazy. Like, why is she getting kicked out of her house?
I should be. I want it to be normal. And all I got was
She's running away to hide from the apparent dogs. Bro, even if you get dogs online, like, most people never act on it. Like, if you're gonna be, it's only worth moving to run away from a dog if you have the money to move in the first place. If you're gonna make yourself so broke that you can't buy your next meal, then you kind of just gotta suck it up and stay in that house and pray that nothing happens. But if you're not like uber popular, usually people don't like follow up on these docs. It's just threats. That's another thing. She's apparently been trying to get employed for a while now.
this will be the last video that I can make.
Yeah, her
And I don't
finances
know
are
when
probably
I'll be able
messed up. Like they could have stolen money from her. They could have stolen so much stuff.
to come back. If I can. If I do. So you go ahead, go get on Reddit, go get on Twitter, whatever. You can talk about this. And the docky in the description. You go right ahead and call me crazy. That's evidently all I'm fucking worth.
Yeah, ID theft is super stressful. Make sure to always call your I don't know what they're called, but they're like agencies that you can put like if you feel like some of your information is getting leaked, you can put a warning on your file and for suspicious activity.
It's too much to ask to be just treated like a fucking person. My best friend won't let me make an 8th attempt. And I've been thinking lately that maybe I should have tried sooner.
Sooner.
Before I had a daughter to live for. And I'm tired. And I'm hurt.
Yeah, you mean warning for credit agencies? Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's true too. So if you have lines of credit, you can usually notify your financial institution. They will freeze new credit lines. But again, that's only if you think that there's going to be an issue. Or you can just like, even if you don't, you can just call them and pay an extra to have that extra safety. Like, it just, I mean, I think it's kind of worth it to have that peace of mind.
I just want to go. Forever. I gotta live now. I gotta somehow have a life. Be good to each other.
This is a VTuber called Vera Project.
Be kind to yourselves. I don't know when I'll be back. If I'm back. But this was all too much. In case I don't come back.
I just got her and I'm confused. Is she dying? It kind of sounds like it, but no, she's like leaving her family house. But okay, this is still the part that I don't get. If she got her identity stolen, why is she moving away? Did she also get into a fight with her family?
Thank you for entertaining my project. And to my community, good luck with the fallout.
What? That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. Good to my community. Good luck with the fallout. I'm out.
You deserve better from me. And I'm fucking sorry that I had to put you through any of this. Even just seeing this video. I'm sorry.
She mentioned a felon in the beginning. She mentioned some just because I got my identity stolen just because somebody wanted to commit a felon, like commit a crime. The people who stole her identity are felons.
Hopefully, this is goodbye for now. And not goodbye forever. But if you see another video on my birthday next year, and it says I didn't make it,
Maybe she's getting stalked. Oh, could have been done by someone in her family. This happens a lot, so it's recommended to move so they get a new address for all official documents. Oh.
just remember my hard work at least. I don't know what you want to remember me for, if anything. I don't know if I'm even worth remembering.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but yeah, it does come out very extreme. It sounds like she's dying. I mean, she's a
This,
terrible, stressful situation too.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Damn, I'm so sorry, Justice Seeker. This was Vera Project, and she also released she's linking a Google Doc in here. The video that came out on 7th. This person read through the document, they just feel bad. I don't blame her. I wanted to sleep through waiting for things to be resolved when I dealt with ID theft. So this is her document. It's 50-page long. Don't take joy. I've never written this doc before. Allow me to start the quick timeline. I know of PNG Tuber in Gen 2025, full model by Feb. Off Kai Standy in June and in person attendance. Attempting to contact top names in December. Start there. First knew Kumi personally through Twitter DMs, where we had explicitly stated to share Discords with the intention of being friends. At the time, she had around maybe 60 CCV, whereas I had maybe 1020, and she had like 1,500 followers, and I had like pushed her thinking we could push each other. I pushed her, she pushed me. We both get better at the respective content. Things I feel VTubers should be doing, though I suppose I was entirely wrong. There will be timestamps as updates. You will see the initial doc first, then updates as we kept seeing things and people kept telling me things as it happened who were either directly involved or told to me as messages specifically for me through someone else. There will be timestamps update as well as by the time you read this, I will have left my state for a second time, never to return again. You will see why. I'll see why what she was doing mattered so much. My community is entirely has pushed for me to go public with this doc the day I run away from home again, so yes, I'll have nothing left to lose nor anything to gain by stating any of this. I just don't want to die being known as an entitled crazy person. Is she talking like as her VTuber model persona dying? You already know who I am. You know that I've stated multiple times I'd rather be a bitch than a liar. I'm not letting her spin her way out of this, trying to tell you who I am for me, not again, so we're gonna see who I am too. Apparently, I have to prove who I am on top of who she is. So this is their first DMs. During a Discord call, I shared my life situation in pieces, a prediction of my physical health, my hoarder home, my sketchy high crime town, while also offering ideas of partnership, rivalry, we'd share family stories. It was fairly normal. It mentioned how she never had time for anything between her BF, traveling, home life, frequent stuff. Things I could have never fathomed, being so consistent, being poor. I said, wow, you really can't catch a break, huh? And eased off. Obviously, why would anyone push on that? This person needs space, more time in the day. I felt like I'd only be making things harder. On my side, I think I had been struggling to garner my audience, chat not interacting. I work on my own on every facet from editing shorts, making schedule, eventually breaking up VODs. And it's a challenge given how toxic my environment is. If you're not okay, you can't make content. Everybody knows that. I live in a hoarder home with a reliably inconsistent mother where I have to gamble if it's going to be a good day just interacting with her, even if I don't want to. And simply wish to eat. I'm too scared to go outside since I had almost died 6 times just on the street I live on. And so both indoors and out, I have not been able to move really at all unless I have a destination or task in mind, like an interview or a pharmacy trip for medicine. I need to not die. Jesus, she's in danger of dying all the time, it seems. I've been like from what does she have a chronic illness? Chased, followed, positive. I witnessed a kidnapping one night. Oh no, sorry, I skipped a line. I'd been looking for conventional work for three years now, and even went on a trip out of state to look for work for with my friends. Chased, followed, a positive. I witnessed a kidnapping one night, and I had been cautious to ever let myself rest because I felt that if I had, I would be losing time I could be using for more work, more content, more means to avoid losing my legs by a predicted age of 32. If I rested, I couldn't be able to afford the bills, which I actually found to be true. I cannot rest if I want to be okay. I would become convinced. Content creation is my light job. I can go homeless a second time was my reality. Jobs would be either 2 hours a week or being told no outright after applying. Online jobs are either fake posting or need degrees, which I'd been priced out still to this day. Where jobs were simply too physically demanding, which I would find out the hard way. I'm physically weak and getting weaker every month in this house. Damn, man, this is heavy. These jobs would stretch months between each other. I have no other way to pay the bills. Though I don't believe I said all of this to her, I'm positive I spoke pieces, though not in writing. Admittedly, I had been sometimes I've spoken to her. However, I remember that I had given her space. In fact, just about every time I asked to hang out or collab, she would tell me she's too busy. So eventually, I tried my own thing. I left her be and kept moving my own in tandem. Mind you, even people like Iron Mouse are explicit in that even if I don't talk to someone for years, if you reconnect and we're still friends, we're still friends. You don't need to be there every day to be friends. So when I had noticed that my friend had found a way to gain traction, I came up to her hoping to ask for advice. Hey, been a long time. How you been? Freaking busy about you. Probably more. I'm actually about to get back from a movie break to record some more stuff. Kumi, can I ask about your workflow? Your presence swelled since August. I could use the help. Notice that I had not stated please grow my channel for me or anything like that. She's just been asking for advice, basically. She had not responded right away, so I gave it one more time, and a few days later I attempted to message her again. Hello, you okay? But then Discord said you cannot message this person as they do not have added you as a friend. Oh, so she unfriended her. Shortly after I saw this, I went to her channel while she was live and tried to explain what I had seen. I was chatting like a normal chatter and even bantering with her like we were still friends. When she noticed me, she said, "Oh, hi, Hysteria," as if she was disgusted by me simply being there. My rampantly traumatic past that would then tip me off that I was of no use to her. I was beneath her now. She wasn't even hiding it. This person is suffering from like post-stress disorder and like severe abandonment issues. Like her caretaker, like her mom, is like unreliable. That's messing with her head so much. Like having somebody unfriending you on Discord is disappointing. It's upsetting, but this is kind of like a disproportional leap. It's kind of sad. I had no communication, no message, nothing, not on Discord, not even on Twitter, no post, no message, email, nothing. Initially, I thought, this sucks. What the hell? What did I even do? I was completely willing to let it go. I figured shit happens. But then I had seen her collab with Chacha, your mom, in March, then Freem, then Lien, and Elxox. I don't know how to pronounce her name. By like July. And she gets an off-guy stand in summer and goes there in person. So that's way too fast. From what I heard, you would need the exact amount of months from time you debuted your models to the time it gets there in like June. That's too perfect, and you would need connections to even do that, wouldn't you? If you could just simply call up off guy, there would be a lot more standees. It could just be like a merch. She got a meet and greet through a merch thing, and they offer everybody a standee. In August of 2025, Cinder exploded, and as I read the doc, I thought to myself, some of this sounds awful familiar, too familiar. Then around the same time, I started raising alarms. She's another one waiting to happen. She's chasing. I see the trajectory already. What? I don't understand this sentence. Then out of nowhere, this person, Kyrie, tells me, hey, can you stop slandering my friend? I said to myself, who is this? Why are they so big? Oh. And so Kyrie had gone on to get me into Twitter DMs to defend Kumi, saying what she was saying to me as a proxy. But this time she had like 6 months to communicate to me, but she still hadn't. So eventually I called her out and blocked her, and this whole thing happened. At the same time Kyrie saw it to me, I'm seeing comments from people like Deja Vude, who, as I know her, she's a behavioral therapist, saying shit like this. Oh my god, Kumi, I'm so sorry you dealt with someone who doesn't understand or respect others people's time. To slander you like that because of a missed message is absolutely unacceptable. Hats off to you for being the bigger person and taking valuable time to reach out to them. Wait, I want to see Kumi's post. So this hysteria person's literally just being hysterical. Got it. I appreciate your clarification, so I'll take the appropriate action. I'm gonna look for the person writing the Google Doc key is Project Vera. We just watched her video. So this hysteria person is literally just being hysterical. Got it. Appreciate the clarification. Deja taking all the time to antagonize someone with tweets like this. I really hope when I'm born again, I'll have a life that isn't suffocating. This isn't a feral post, I promise. I'm not relapsing. I'm just sighing. Not that I haven't consciously considered it though. Oh god. In the same comments, Kumi's like, haha, don't worry, she's just crazy. In text, by the way. Hello, new folks. I'm D. I'm an ADHD 35-year-old VTuber with a degree in psychology. I'm the millennial magical girl. Edit holy hypocrisy. And let me state this again. Admittedly, it had been some time since I spoke to her. However, remember that I had given her space. Just about every time I asked her to hang out or call up, she would tell me she's too busy. She eventually I tried my own thing. Okay, why is she facing her previous paragraph? Whatever. Oh, I think I should let you guys know. Hello, after confirming her, she never blocked you on any platforms. You had a full freedom to contact her on Twitter or Discord. Her DMs are not locked on either platform. What she did was follow and unfriend. And according to her, unfriend was not due to asking for advice. I hope this helps you heal and gives you some sort of closure. So Kara said that she tried to message you, but you blocked her? Where did she say that in this? This is so badly put together. Alright, I found the post, by the way. But it got deleted, but that sounds more like a personal issue between that's probably like Jen Vera who's writing this. Hi, friend of Kumi's here. Kumi's been trying to figure out how to reach out to you privately all day about the situation because you keep subtweeting and big posting about her, but she has no way to contact you because you have her blocked on Twitter. That's what she's responding to here. She didn't give us the context. Her mods aren't able to message you on her behalf either. Can you talk to her instead of continuing to publicly slander her like this? It's not cool, especially with everything going on right now. Kumi responds, I generally did everything not to post about this, especially with everything going on, but I quite literally have no way to contact this person, so here we are. Hysteria and I became mutual back in 2023, ended up playing a fun game of L4D together, then no messages were exchanged until Jan of 2025, a year and a half later. They asked me for advice on workflow, and as I was coming off a vacation a week prior, getting back to work was an incredibly busy time for me. I work full time on top of streaming in Jan. I looked into it, and when they messaged me, I was live at the time, and it's hard for me to keep up with things on stream days. Looking back at our last messages, you can't even see the last thing I replied was that I was freaking busy. I separated myself from them a month after their message because I saw some close friends of mine were made very uncomfortable by a tweet they made talking about artists and their prices. Oh, so that's why she unfriended her. It's because of the artist tweet. The reason had nothing to do with them asking for advice. Now, over the past almost 2 weeks, they've been vague tweeting me, replying harmful things about me to artists and fans, saying that I separated from them over them asking me for advice. When these events happened a month apart, and it's not even close to the reason I separated myself from them. I tried multiple ways to contact them privately, but to no avail. Surprised that I have to make that post, but I genuinely it's been so extremely hurtful to see someone drag my name like this. Yeah, about you, probably more. I'm actually about to get back from a movie break. President Swells to talk, I could use the help. Ali blocked her on Twitter after months of no contact. This was her doing PR. But she says there was a month separate between the block on the Discord block. Sounds like someone she was friends with got decently popular and she felt ignored when that friend didn't have time to listen to her trauma dumping. Like, let's push each other to become popular. Wait, she became popular. It was soon after she got a model that I went to see her on stream within the same month, like February. I recall she blocked me shortly before. It wasn't until August that I started sounding alarms, and she had Kyrie proxy for her, so like 6 months. But did Kumi tweet again? I separated myself from them a month after their message because I saw some close friends of mine were made uncomfortable by a tweet they made. Yeah, I totally could have just talked to her, Kyrie. That's why she sounded so grossed out during Elden Ring. She sounded so much like she wanted to talk to me. Post about our price made people uncomfortable, so she backed away. This post of mine was an uneducated attempt to open discussion about how prices for art for the sake of advertising are much too high for what they are. Often single-use PNG. But if there's someone who is worse off than me who wants to garner their own following, but IRL still like rent or gas or food is too high and they don't have the time to make it themselves, what do you want them to do? Use AI? Post is still public. I had logged the comments so that people could see that I've been asking questions to the artists that came up to me to tell me that my ideas wouldn't work. They wish they could, but they simply don't. Yeah, I mean, sure there are some prices that are too high. I don't ever recommend for people to purchase fan arts. I think they're a waste of money. I think most of your money should be put into your content, like actual content that entertains people beyond a single fan art. If you do have fan art, it should be done for merch. But even then, you might not even get your money back. It's like an extra fluff. Besides that, I mean, the counter argument to that is that like artists also have to pay gas and rent and all of that, so they deserve to be paid for their time. Starting, you might like a starting artist will charge less. Somebody in college just doing this like on the side as a hobby. I'd ask follow-up questions, but they could further explain how things actually work, and I would thank them for taking the time to teach me. I kept that post up as a learning tool for others. I made a follow-up post about how I simply wanted poor people to be able to have things, have options, and yes, I messed up, but I learned and handled it with respect. No one in my den list of friends had dropped me. Because of that disruption in the space, there were artists who weren't getting any commissions who managed to start getting paid, and even if it was at my expense, I was happy about that. How is that entitled? By me fucking up, I got a non-artist paid with no benefits to me. Oh, by the way, thanks to technology, I now have numbers for that pricing claim. Even if you make 18-hour job IRL, you cannot afford anything more than like a few emotes to some artist. And I picked out blue state, major cities for this, so they should ideally have more money on average than a red state. You need a following already to afford a piece that advertises you to gain a bet. Yeah, but you don't need emo. Like, you literally don't. Like, the best streamers out there have the simplest setup, have no layout. They have like dog shit emotes that are like doodle. They don't have thumbnails. It's like a doodle thumbnail, or it's just like a like look at like Asmongold's channel, for example, like his live streams on YouTube or whatever, or I don't know. I don't think Asmongold like live streams, but just like any big streamer on YouTube, they don't even have a thumbnail. It's just like a frame from their stream. See, like that emote that Yoshi just used, that's my friend who drew it. It's adorable and good. Kind of like my real expression whenever I get into I read about dramas. Gross monthly income $3,000. Minimal wage. Average one rent bedroom $2,000. Leftover for everything else, $790. Well, yeah, you're not gonna be able to afford anything with this. Most people just recycle 7TV emotes anyways, yeah. Also on YouTube, there's not a big emote culture anyway, but on Twitch, like, look, I paid for $50 emotes and I've paid for $11 emotes. There's literally no difference and people don't care. You're not gonna get more popular because of emotes. So I told Carrie, okay then, I'm sorry I was wrong, I'll back off. But knowing that if I did, I would condemn myself to this financial, physical, mental hole. So I would keep my mouth shut. I couldn't speak up. She knew about my situation and chose to keep me there. Hello. After confirming with her, she never blocked you on any platform. She had full freedom to contact her on Discord. Okay, we already read that. I think I should let you guys know too. I've taken down some comments against her as well. If anyone happens to come at me for something, know that it was already resolved. I got the other half of the story that I couldn't get because Discord didn't allow me to message non-friends, and I'm backing off as I learned I wasn't wrong. I thought it was a cinder moment. It wasn't. So I necessarily struck first as a trauma response. That being said, though, communicate, 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 communicate. He struck first as a trauma response is an incredible red flag for me. Like, I mean, I'm empathetic to what she's been through. It seems like she's had a very hard life, but I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody like this because they seem like the looser of cannons. Okay, wait. Hold up. Okay, she says this. I thought it was a cinder moment. It wasn't, so I necessarily struck first as a trauma response. That being said, though, communicate, communicate, communicate. But I didn't buy that. You don't grow like that for no reason. Even an algorithm would be sudden, not incremental. You'd have plateaus if you deepened connections. And so again, that was true. Why was there no communication? Because now she's painting a picture of perfect optics as well. Even one of my mods at the time defended her. She seemed like a decent person, he'd say, and then stopped appearing around us in our Discord. Moved him and said if he decides to come back, we'll be more than welcoming to him and be glad to have him back as a mod. He never came back. He left us for her. Eventually, I would notice she would collab further upwards, to which I would go back to that list I knew about. Chacha, Freem, Elxox, Len. Somebody teach me how to pronounce this name. LXOX. I thought to myself, did they even know she dropped me for optics? Not just anyone, but someone who's literally concerned for her next meal? I'm still stuck in a place, trying anything I can, think with success, and no one else I know who's what to do either. I could have relayed that info to the rest of my friends. I could have been able to escape this town. Oh, it's just use L? She just uses L? Oh, okay. Yep, the paranoia is off the chart. Yeah. She's her own. This is kind of sad. It's like crazy, kind of sad. Why is it only upward collabs? This is all too fast. How is this happening from February to now August? 7 months, not even 3 years in. I started in March 2023. She started like maybe the same year I was told. I mean, yeah, that can happen. I begun to distrust anyone who was a VTuber who wasn't already my friend. I didn't know if they were going to be another Kumi. Stopped rating channels. I stopped referring to myself as a VTuber. I became disgusted, delusioned by the idea of being part of a community / space that elevates terrible people. Would even stop reaching out to my friends over time, out of fear that time had made them liable to do me as dirty as she did. Eventually in July I would post a vlog on YouTube called I'm Tired. I had said in the video things like I wish I could stop, I wish I could afford college, I wish I could leave. I feel like if I ever stop pushing, I'll not be able to afford my meds or bills. I can't let myself stop for any reason. This feels like a trauma response paranoia, TBH. Honestly, like probably 100%. She probably has like some kind of, I'm being a super armchair psychologist right now, but she seems to have like post-traumatic stress disorder. It does look like a cry for help. She needs professional help though. Also, what's up with the college thing? Are you guys like, is there no public college in the United States? Like you guys have to pay for all the colleges that you go to? We have here like we have like really cheap public colleges and they're good. You can get a job after. I mean, you pay a little bit obviously, but it's nothing like if you work minimal wage, you could probably pay for your session in a month. It's like 2K Canadian per year, maybe. There's community college which are cheaper and shorter terms. Because usually people don't go to college because they gotta work and they're like, I can't afford. When they say I can't afford college, is because like I wouldn't be able to not work because I got too many bills to pay. But this girl doesn't even work, she says. Can't pay a little bit when the rent costs more than your salary. I guess she has a difficult living situation, so she's not living with her parents. Because usually you don't pay for rent when you're going to college. You're living at your parents' house so you can study. Honestly, fuck, what in the world is happening with your city's rent? What the fuck are those prices? While in Canada, we're one of the countries in the world with the highest rent prices right now. It's fucking wild. The reason education is not cheap in the US is because the government subsidizes it and the college takes advantage of overprice their course. No. Read the dog, and she seems to have some emotional disorders plus some past trauma and possibly a rejection disorder, and it's the perfect storm to cause someone to spiral. I like simultaneously feel bad for her and also think that she's Menhera. Private college for me was 20K, which is still insanely cheap compared to USA. Did you have to take out a loan for that? That's crazy. Okay, but here, like, even if you want to go even cheaper, you don't even need to go to college because you got this French system in between college thing, which is like 3 years, and you can get a job after that. Like, it's for like when you don't want to go to college, you just go through that system. It's cheaper, it's faster because it gives you like a mid-level like piece of paper, and then you can just like immediately enter the job market and like a bunch of specializations. I worked at the same time as going to community college is doable. Yeah, I did too. You can totally do both. Yeah, CJIP. We have CJIP here. Oh, maybe that's called a trade school. Guaranteed stable job. Well, a lot of these like trade schools are for jobs that are like handiwork. What do you call that, blue collar jobs, technicians, things like that. So yeah, usually there's a lot of demands for these jobs. Yeah, like plumbing, welding, contractor, like they're always looking for, yeah, essential services and more. Like it can be like graphic design and shit like that. I mean, look, AI ain't gonna replace a plumber. I think they're in a really good spot right now. Some jobs want you to be 100% dedicated to the work, though. Like my interviews went crazy good until I mentioned I was a student and got declined. Yeah, well, it depends, okay? The hack is you have to do that for school and for vacate. It depends. If you want to keep your job while working, then you're just applying for a 20-hour like part-time job. You'll go work in a store as a barista at Starbucks or some shit like that. But if you want to have a summer job, then you need to not say that you're going back to school or that you're taking a vacation like later down the line. You just say that you're dedicated and then you just fucking quit when you gotta go back to school. Fuck it. I mean, they're gonna screw you over too. They're gonna fire you the second that they have to. So you might as well play their game. Okay, let's keep on reading. So people are saying that this video is the start of her spiral. Is in February. Somebody said that in chat. I don't know. I wish I could stop. I wish I could afford college. I wish I could leave. It feels like if I ever stop pushing, I'll not be able to afford my meds or bills. I can't let myself stop for any reason. I had $20 in saving for months. My leg were beginning to fail. Things were looking bleak again for me. So the algorithm had decided to push that video, and suddenly I had a ton of people find me. I got confused and a little upset. This is what it takes to get anywhere, having to be so close to just giving up. So we experienced a small boom. That, however, did not negate Kumi. I kept seeing her on Twitch pages when I would open the site to set up for my own stream. My TikTok For You page would jump scare me with her face. Scrolling through YouTube was a gamble. Yeah, you can hide those channels though, or block them. I kept trying to block, but she still kept appearing. Oh, I guess she answered that. What medication? It must be something for her legs, which is probably why she's also so broke. Because I think in the States, if you don't have a company insurance, you don't get paid for your medication, and you have to pay them yourselves. If somebody in your family, like the mom or the dad, works at a company, then usually the entire family is insured. But maybe they don't have that in her case. I just wanted to exist normally. I just want guidance on how to get better out of this town or this house. And so it felt like because I wanted that, things decided no, the struggler doesn't win. The one who already has everything is supposed to step on the other. But how is Kumi like? Is she claiming Kumi kept on bullying her? Or is it just because Kumi keeps appearing on her algorithm? Not after the kids become adults? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, when I spoke to my cousin, he was talking about his kids and they are young. The parents, over here, the parents' insurance stops when you turn 26. I see. Definitely, if you're in the USA, the medical system is FUBARD, all about the dollars, healing is incidental. Okay, but I've also heard this claim from another one, my cousin, where he was like, medical debts are not really pursued because if somebody like gets into a hospital and they are like bleeding or they have like an emergency or an issue, you have to treat them. You can't just be like, oh, you have no money in your bank account, then you better turn around. But people have like crazy like hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical debts. Us over here in Canada, I think we don't realize how expensive these medical practices are, which is why I really like made a jump when I was like phoning people and doing research to see a psychiatrist of the sheer prices of them. But apparently that's what it costs to practice medicine, and it's like the machines, everything is super expensive, but we don't know because the government like subsidizes them. Yeah, you cannot be denied medical treatment. At least I think like calling an ambulance in the United States is like $6,000 or some crazy stuff like that. Some hospitals have issues with people dumping patients when they realize they don't have insurance, can't pay. Really? Forever waiting list though? There's long waiting list for the special services, but whenever like for walk-in or for like oh I have a cold or anything else, like when I had my knee injury from the horseback riding fall I got like an appointment the next day. Like admittedly like when I can get like an appointment the next day for almost 90% of things. But if let's say I want to get like a scan for breast cancer, then I'm going to be put on a waiting list. Then it'll be a couple months for like x-rays and things like that, specialized stuff. Oh, debt is absolutely pursued. Garnishing your income is also pretty common. They go take your money from your income. That's fucked. Some ambulance bills go for 70 to 90K. Imagine somebody's having a seizure and you gotta think twice before calling an ambulance because you're like, I don't know if I can afford this. And those few seconds is like the difference between life and death. That is must be so difficult. Okay, but let's get back on track. Sorry for that tangent. Anyway, if anybody struggling with medical bills, I hope you guys stay strong. Know that I'm with you in thoughts. I use an Uber to get to the ER. Kind of smart. There's been situations where victims of car crashes have pleaded to not have an ambulance called. Oh, that's terrible. Some Americans are known to fight paramedics to escape so they won't be put in internal life debt for a 5-10 minute ambulance ride. Telling someone you're calling an ambulance in the US is basically a threat? Are you guys fucking for real? I drove myself to the hospital with a kidney stone because no way I'm getting an ambulance. Dude, for sure, man. If you're not like bleeding profusely, you're driving there. I work in insurance. Oh no. Yeah, I knew my aunt worked in insurance and they do try to find every single loophole to not pay you. It sucks. When I was in the hospital ER and my veins kept rolling around, eventually they pulled an EMT to do my IV and I got charged for EMT prices because of it. I'm so sorry for you. Around September 2025, I had explained my sentiment to some people either in chat or to newer people from the boom. Some of them had an overlap between her and I. They told me there's a greeting message with a multiple choice panel where there's the question, who's the biggest bird? And if you say any option that is not her, you get kicked out of the door. Channels are like 90% about her. It's gross to be in there. Wait, a Discord community server is about her? Oh my god, so scandalous. She doesn't sound like she believes what she's saying, like she's talking from a script. She seems like the type to crash out if things aren't about her. She reminds me exactly of this other terrible person, like band for band. Compared to you, her server vibe is very talk about me or get the fuck out. Once I heard these things, it struck me. This wasn't a matter of if, but when she becomes such a problem, it ruptures the VTuber space further. I had honestly been upset at myself that I hadn't seen this before everything that happened. Shortly after I had become a victim of political violence for the first time, some British guy in our Discord was very pro Iron Cross. Reiko, I need you to translate what this means. Along with some other dude, they were trying to dismantle the entire Discord from outside after they left. By around October 2nd, what does being pro Iron Cross mean? By around October 2nd, 2025, I went to go see Sayu in person at a low-ended convention. Oh, it's the Yahtzees. Okay, I get it. Oh, I wasn't trying to say that. Hold up. I was trying to say that. I was saying, okay. No, I think I got it. It's the Austrian painter. So I was worried she might be there, but I was more worried about my own future. So I made a point for the first thing I do to go see him and ask him for advice. Wait, why would you ever do that? She's gonna trauma dump to Sayu? Does she know him, or is it the first time she meets him? She's gonna talk about another VTuber to him? I spent so much of my only money that I had gotten from the windfall from the boom just to go see him. Was that her plan? She's investing all of her money that she received from that video that got viral to go see him to vent about her situation with Kumi? Are you fucking for real? He told me at no benefit to him what he knew. Usually do this for growth. I would ask my own peers. Oh, thank God. Okay, it's only growth advice. I would ask my own peers, at what point did you see the most growth? Or your site is creative, you can totally make something out of that. Would that I could have acted on this advice right then, but I was still handling everything generally by myself and then needed time away for it all so I don't explode. To this day, the best I can muster is find a clip, send it to TikTok, add subtitles, post as is. I still don't have the money to afford an editor and make it all shiny, so many edits. Nowadays, I'm spending from the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep just editing videos, trying to make a backlog so I can go off to do other stuff. Maybe recording just to make it even more. I've even streamed me working so my chat knows how hard I work too. You'll see my workload at the end. But the thing is, hard work doesn't make success though. Like some of the videos that I worked the longest on have completely flopped and it's disappointing, but it is like it's not a correlation. And then sometimes, YouTubers often complain that they're like, dude, I didn't spend any time on this video and this is the one that goes viral. Like hard work doesn't mean that you're going to be instantly like gratified. This is just how freelance works. During the con, I had run into one of my mods, ex-mods now, as we would walk around after I seen Sayu to take an event. Unfortunately, my legs had started to fail again. I needed to lean on him until we found a spot to rest at until my legs recovered. He learned that she needed to reserve a wheelchair ahead of time, so we couldn't move for some time. Days later, ex-mod had told me that they had gotten her content on their feed and they noted, hey V, you know that advice you shared with us? It looked like she's doing the exact same thing. Are you serious? I thought to myself, did she know then? I had to spend so much on that advice when I probably could have been in a better position so much sooner. It tore me up. It told me that she thinks in terms of I should be at the top. If I can't use you, then you're in the way. I am questioning every expectation she has in regards to VTubing. Absolutely. She only went to the con to ask Sayu for advice on growth. There's free advice everywhere, like all over online. She's so lost the plot. And because Kumi makes a video where Sayu's advice are being applied, she's like, I spent so much just to get that advice. You just weren't economical with your time or your money. That tore her up. And why does it mean that she thinks that she's at the top? By the time if I had shared any one piece of the information in this doc, people would get curious, go to see her on any of her pages, come back and tell me, oh yeah, something is very clearly being hidden in there. Yeah, so she's shit-talking her to her audience. That's not... This is gonna go back to her. Around November 28th, 2025, so I've been trying to avoid seeing Kumi. Bro, she can't avoid seeing her. She's living in her head rent-free, bro. She has a tent in her head. Feels Kumi used her as a stepping stone? And Kumi's like the focal point of her hate. Yeah, Kumi had a lucky break equals literally Cinder. This is so unhinged. My videos were unique. My brand is unique. I had accidentally become a 3-in-1 creator plus face cam. By now, current day, I'm a 15-in-1 creator, as in I made a customizable model, run 15 faces. Show me anyone else that can do that and keep track of it. I was getting better at singing, just barely. I still don't like my singing though. My chat and I had sort of we're all struggling together and that's okay vibe pretty much formed. I would tell them about how I wish I could perform charities and even just move out, but we all knew that I was still poor. Thankfully, me having to mod things was a lesson disruption, but I still had to go clipping VOD, so I still couldn't find the time to act on Sayu's advice. What was Sayu's advice again? This is the most generic advice. Do this for growth. I would ask my own peers, at what point did you see the most growth? Why isn't she applying the advice then? Why is she doing other random stuff that aren't paying off? This should have been what she focused on. Yeah, Sayu's advice was whatever sold well, do more of that. Then I would notice that she was collabing with Heavenly Father and she was there a lot, more so than anyone else has been around. I would mention to my mod and I thought she was still there with him after all this climbing and speed. But I can't, the wording is like crazy. Before she even got there, they predicted that she'd be moving towards Heavenly and through him you could get to Zentreya. I kept noticing, I would tell them, she's still there. They said that she must be using him for clips. That's where the most clippers seem to be. As far as I know, didn't she only move up like once with each person? Apparently no, she was with Cha like twice by that time. I heard she dropped L. The idea I heard was that she was too adult. I then learned that, dude, she's like listening to every single schizo theory that has like no sources. Like, yeah, he's probably too adult. Yeah, I heard that she dropped it because she was adult. I then learned that Heavenly would be a major in bold connection base ranging from Zentreya to Shiley to really whoever else. What made Elle so special, I thought to ask around. Apparently, Chacha is well connected and obviously connected to people like Filian, who hosted VTuber Wards. But isn't Chacha also kind of up there in terms of adulty? Well, I suppose her connections made up for that. Thought about it for a while. Someone who has been on that mindset occasionally on the freelancer side, it's gonna follow you more and more if you keep it like that, unworthy. I know, like, this is the worst way to go about it, JubTube. Like, you keep comparing yourself. Comparing yourself to others is the thief of joy. And honestly, it sounds very jealous and petty. She said at some point she wanted to see Zen at a con on Twitter. She had Heavenly's friend in her pocket. She could get to others' actuality, and the gang with him, she'd have Zen. But if she really wanted to get into a bunch of circles and generally be a normal VTuber, why single out Zen? I was reminded that Zen is a connection to Iron Mouse. The light bulb turned on. Iron. Oh no. That's even written in the doc, dude. Now that I had learned about all these connections, I thought she could be going after Cotton too, since she's right there. But then wouldn't that be hypercritical of the two adult team thing with Elle? There was no good way about her doing. This is like all suppositions, by the way. She's like lost in her own fanfiction. Yeah, this conspiracy goes all the way to the top. The Illuminati is behind it all. At this point, we had our new trajectory. Chacha, Freem, Elle, Heavenly, Zen, most likely others, maybe Mousy. Edit. Someone at some point, I think it was a chatter, told me a long time ago that because of that whole thing with Ariel, that Zen and Mousy weren't on super good terms anymore, question mark. So getting to Mousy through Zen was out for a while, I guess. Still though, Christ, woman. Damn it. I can't believe how much of an opportunistic Kumi is. Bro, even if all of this was true, who the fuck cares that Kumi is an ambitious woman who's trying to like fucking smooch and network her way to the top? Like, even if that was true, I wouldn't give two damns. You can do it too if it bothers you that much. Go out there. Go out there and smooch. But now I had been told an echoing sentiment from many, like, it's not like, what is stopping you? You being poor? Yeah, I can't believe how horrible Kumi is in my own head. Yeah, you go out there and kiss some ass. You can do it too. That costs nothing. That's free. She gave off bad vibes after just, I like that she's quoting as sources. She's quoting the people that she's shit talking Kumi to. She's quoting her chat. It's as if, okay, I got into a call with you guys and I'd be like, yo, Reiko, I heard like about this, you know, this VTuber did this and that and that. And then like we start like, you know, just shit talking and gossiping. And then I take like your response and put them in my Google Doc as quotes. She gave off bad vibes after just one collab. I believe the sentiment was something echoed from before she started seeing much bigger names. Things just kept adding up. And it became a thing of, I think I have to record this for the sake of the space, not just for me anymore. Oh, she's doing the entire community, no, the entire industry an immense favor by documenting all of this. My prediction from August is looking more and more true given the speed and method of the climb. Meanwhile, my legs had given out on camera on November 16. I fell during a cooking stream. I was struggling to get up and I had to finally explain to my chat, outside of this Airbnb back home, there's no room. Going outside is a massive gamble and I'd really rather not be assaulted. You finally saw this happen. This is what I've been dealing with and working so hard to be able to address. I'd show you a picture, but you might claim it's just me sitting or posing weird for a narrative. I do still have the video file though. Around December 3, I had been hit with medical bills I haven't been able to pay. I'd applied to many places, still nothing has gotten back to me. You know how I said I've been screwed into having content creation as my only job? They fucking sorry wrong person me. Received a conditional offer of employment from, followed the link from, background check provider, and completed promptly. Apologize, I was sent by accident. I was going through each applicant right now. If offered a position, I will reach out to you. An accident had occurred as well, so I had to perform a donaton to be able to pay it off. By around this time, someone ran to me, tell me that Kumi had brought Heavenly to collab downwards. What does she mean by collab downwards and upward? She's thinking too much in those binary terms. She's like obsessed with numbers. So looking into it, these people smaller have been around her for some time. Then why up to involve Heavenly? Could she not, with her numbers by then, just help them out of her own? Why is the therapist there too? Moreover, afterward, why is that group still there with him when Kumi isn't? Looking into it, I would notice that the same group was around others too earlier in the climb. Why do they enable that? They're all close to her. Shouldn't they be able to see that climb? Izakura was pretty low on the ladder too, I noticed, I think before Chacha. And as well, I recall Elle, if you have this little posty, why drop her? Megalodon is fine with her, and Fefe, and she's bigger than you. All of that is based on like what somebody mentioned her in passing, that she might have dropped Elle because she was too adult. That is not ever something that was sourced from Kumi's mouth. All of these are supposition. It could just be that her and Elle didn't have a schedule that matched, that Elle's not working on collabs. I don't fucking know. I can't help but feel like she was treated unfairly. Ever since I was brought to my attention that Kumi was a not safe for work art tag, and around December 26, my friend a shitload of connections told me that she reached out to some very major names. I want to protect who told me, but to get to the point across, I have to be specific. That's so funny. She's doing deep. He was being treated by a doctor. I'm not gonna say what race the doctor was. I'm not gonna say it. It was a Jew. She literally did that quote from Kanye West. I want to protect the names of who told me. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, I'll just say it. It's Project Melody, Bebe, and beyond them until Kumi got hit with a 15K appearance fee, reportedly got mad about it, and basically said it was unfounded. So said a friend of mine. So said a friend of my friend who told me hella gossip chain. Isn't Bebe on indefinite hiatus in September? And also highly controversial. Isn't Melody a much bigger cam girl, adult team VTuber than Elle or Chacha? She wants to be the top so bad until she actually gets there, and then 15K is unfounded. Do you know how much money actually moves up there? How come two of those are suddenly okay? And why was I being told that you were trying to do such things while on holiday break with your boyfriend? But these are all rumors. Look at that. You got our source scared for his job. Then what? You gonna go after him? You said it was to save a homie's job, and that's all you said. True, but I've thought about that possibility many times. Oh my god, where am I? Out of 50. What I said to protect his job because only he had that info. Make it extremely obvious that there's info came from putting him at risk. Truthfully honest though, the doc is the least of my concern. Most of my concern is your health and safety and documentation once you leave. Is nuts though. I just recorded as if this I'm a live video. Growing that fast in a week screams red flag to me. Shit. The worry that she'll come for him? Yeah. If not directly to him, then the people he knows. Yeah, and I heard from a friend's friends that we're getting a blood burn on PC soon. Oh my god. During December 31, 2025, I had been trying to get away from this doc, watching Zentraya's News Year stream to get things off my mind as much as I could. I was working on some videos at this time. I ended up with the new guy who came into my life. He's not quite my boyfriend, but I'm giving him time. I'd been talking about helping each other land jobs so that we might both be able to move elsewhere. Edit. We never got together, but he's been helping me hold my stuff at his place so I can leave, get police help, do what I need to get out of here. Fortunately, through in a mask collab on stream, Rima would bring up that she was drawing Kumi, talks about her, and Joel asks about her. They push her there and I get thrown off. I figured it would be a good day. Finally, I can at least spend New Year's without having to hear about her, right? No! No, that'd be too easy for me. I wouldn't get to not hear about her. Remember how even hearing about her hurts me? Yeah, imagine a relapse. I'm not even making this shit up, by the way. I'm just reading from the doc. Earlier in the day as well, my mother talked to me in a way that sounded like, you're getting too skinny for the needles to go in your arms. That told me a lot. I've been worried since she yelled at me about shit she does that she claims I do. That's every other day, though. Bonus info. Oh, we're gonna get a random lore drop. I plugged in my numbers to calculate how much I make a month. It amounts to like 3.45-ish an hour on average. Yay, slave wages. That's what dropping people can do. Dude, what is this? Yes, content creation, you might make 0. You're like in the top, I don't know what percent of content creators if you're making actually an hourly wage from VTubing. And this is how much my meds I need. This is her meds are $120. This is how much my meds I kind of need to not fall into chemical imbalance and off myself cost. Oh, but what about Medicaid? My red state stopped covering these meds with that. I'm positive. I've been advised that I should not go public with this doc, as that may further cement me into saved wages, so this info now is for the sake of those who need to know, and to hopefully keep this space much healthier. Edit. This is the end of the base doc. By the time you read this, I'm on the street in a different state, in a tent or a shelter. You VTubers kind of priced me out of fucks to give. Actual fuck? But you didn't have to become a VTuber either. Wait, but it wasn't the end of the doc. Today is March 2nd. I'm upset that I even have to write more, but here I fucking go. And I'm not being nice about this anymore. This is like the schizo, it's like when you listen to the schizo voices in your head and you write it in your diary that you like have 3 locks on that nobody will ever read, but she's publishing it online. Wait, there's false ID mentioned. So a few days ago, I went to go see my Twitch earning. Why? Because I dropped the VTuber space as a whole. The reason for that was that I tried to have all this info shared with news outlets. False ID's Discord in particular. Maybe they could do something I can't. They effectively dismissed just about everything, saying this is a normal thing. This happens all the time. Sounds like hysteria just being catty. I nearly threw up. So that taught me that even the news outlets are dismissing all of this. If 80 plus people read this doc, all of them were disgusted by her, including top names and their mods, and the fucking news outlets themselves blow this shit up, then the only thing that this can mean is that the space itself wants to be toxic. It wants to be a breeding ground for shitty people or entitled people or whatever, and any honest person is just, fuck you, why should we care? You're not famous. Edit. Even people like Shibidoki said it was high school. I was naive to hope or even advocate for better for the space. The same space that gave me a job that I previously wanted to help, even if it burned me. This is like, I feel like I'm reading some kind of like theater, like some explorational play. Yeah, everybody is wrong. It couldn't be me. Basically, quote, I'm trying not to be in a wheelchair when I leave an abusive home. I want at least a few months rent, not to be homeless. So, you're not mousy. You're not famous. Fuck off. So I denounced the space back in like January 2026. VTuber became a slur to me. Anyway, when I went to go check my earnings, I saw that my break from Twitch had taken a massive toll on them. Makes sense. Is it me, or maybe she tried to pull a Cinder Doc move? Fanbase society needed a ton of people to actually pull it off like she did. Don't think she has it either. You need sources. You need not just here, like, my chat told me that. My chat that I already like made up, stuff about this person that I dislike too. I was making like 300 a month, maybe 4, 5 on a good month. When I checked, it was closer to 90 to 120-ish. When I took a break, it was because after seeing what that Discord had to say, I got incredibly down about it. I questioned if I even wanted to stay being a creator, if that's the kind of shit I was dealing with. If I didn't want to, what kind at all? So I left for like maybe a month and a half, just feeling like complete shit about everything. And eventually I came back and said, I no longer consider myself a VTuber. Don't ever call me a VTuber anymore. Apparently this is the kind of people they are, and I'm not like that. I'll do my own thing by myself and just be happy with that. The space itself is no longer my target audience. Was their earning? Here's how much I make now on YouTube today. She's the first VTuber mass shooter in the making. Yo, honestly, I'd be scared. Don't go to VTuber cons in 2026, bros. I need some alcohol for this? Bro, we need more than alcohol to understand this. We need, like, stronger shit. Like, we need... Apparently, Fent is popular nowadays. There was a kid in my comments one day. He basically told me he believes in me despite not knowing typical adult stuff. He didn't understand too much. There were people older than me who told me they were inspired by me and hoped that I'd get out of my situation and hoping that I could be happy. More than myself, if at all for myself, I came back for them because there was a kid that apparently needed me to be a halfway decent example, and my community became more precious to me as time went on. They helped me to stay sane when I couldn't do it myself, and we cried together so many times. Rima, no haha. Wait, why'd you add the haha, Reiko? I was joking, but are you? All my community fed me and I owed them. They brought me back to content. I couldn't, and still don't today, trust anyone with a model. Not after all of this, not if I didn't already know you. Still, it did. Still to current day, people tell me I'm inspiring. There was this woman in my server who said recently, I was telling my therapist I met someone online who was willing to risk it all for a better life. And I asked myself, why aren't I doing that? Honestly, I don't endorse it. It's terrifying, especially with no money. So after I went through all of that, I was on Twitch thinking, well, since it's still an ongoing thing, let's check on Zen. Maybe you just stop tuning in Zentrea's stream, bro. Yeah, I feel like she's not actually tuning in Zen's stream, like, casually. She's tuning in to see if she's gonna mention Kumi. She's switching between these grandiose idea of herself to, like, absolute self-deprecation, and I can't do anything, and I can't do anything right, and the entire world is against me. So after I went through all of that, I was on... It was supposed to be the end of the doc 2 pages ago, may I remind you. And then she was like, something happened, and I had to come back and write this. I'm so pissed off. And then the only thing that's happened so far is that Zen mentioned Kumi on her stream. So after I went through all of that, I was on Twitch thinking, well, since it's still ongoing thing, let's check on Zen. 1 week ago, as Andrea VOD containing a collab with Heavenly and Kumi. Huh. Yeah, so she went to check it out. If she had collab with Kumi, she's going through her VODs. I took a leave for weeks. I denounced the space. I migrated from Twitch. Started making my own kind of videos, barely streaming anymore, and I'm mentally more okay because I have a shitload of mental overhead. And shit still happened exactly as we predicted it would. And now simply by collabing with Zen, we're proving everything I was saying had been correct. How is this proof that you're correct? And you might say, so collabing with Zen is bad now? Sure, if it's within 11 months of getting a full model, when Zen literally has collab with smaller VTubers in the past without needing to climb via collabs. You have been acting on this cloud chasing trajectory exactly as I kept saying to people that you would. Exactly as they told me you would. Chatters, other creators, people I asked my friend to give this doc to tell me if I'm wrong, and they said, no, this is really bad on Kumi's part. I wanted to be wrong, and 80 plus people, 80 people told me this wasn't okay. I did not add a single word in there, by the way. That's all hers. Insane. And you climbed just like we all thought. Every step we predicted, every timing called out, down to the people you would pick to climb off of. Edit. Someone told me in a current day they saw a collab clip with Krelly sometime after I saw her with Zen in March. I know Krelly works closely with higher tier people like Viral and Neuro. Checks out with the whole you need value for me to give a shit mindset she so clearly shows with that route. On my end, because she led people to believe I was crazy entitled bitch since I had to keep struggling for a channel size despite now loving the videos I make, by April 20th, some terrible shit happened. Surely, while she's still getting as many appearances using others' communities as she can, while I'm still trying to be honest, I've been trying to get a job. A conventional one. I wanted pay stubs to pay bills, move out, away from this abuse, finance a team so I can act on Sayu's advice. Found the remote one. It was a data entry job. They sent me a check for $3,500 and said, use this to pay for your own equipment and then mail it to us so we'll do some installments and send it back. Oh my god, this is how she got identity theft? They used my info. Ask for sensitive information too. I'm now positive it was a job scam. Now I have to legally change my name over this, I think. At this time, I have $90 and I called the bank. They said there's nothing they can do and I have to anticipate this black hole of a debt with no account. The bank told me to expect minus $3,377 in my account. What? She got Nigeria princed. Oh my fucking god. Does she really have to change her name? How? How can the state let that happen? Like, what do you mean she has to change her name? Yeah, incredibly shitty bankrupt as her first response to identity theft. No, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed at all. Super old scan, been going around for a while. Oh my god. I feel like if we type down on Google, we'll find stuff. Company asking to send me a check to pay for equipment and then mail it to us. This is a very common fake check scam. Do not deposit the check. Real companies do not send checks to new hires to buy equipment. They will never instruct you to buy equipment from a specific vendor using their advance funds or send extra money back. Bros, brother. This is getting attention. I'm not fully aware of the scam. Oh, he's taken several steps and their domain name was taken down. She wants everyone to be parasocial with her and also wants success without any work. Yeah, and she's fashioned herself as some kind of social pariah. Oh, do you think it works like that? They give you a bad check and then they pull the funds? This is 100% a scam. Can you elaborate? I like to understand how it functions. So they send you a check. You go ahead and buy what you think you need. Then they ask for whatever is left. You send them back a check. Meanwhile, the check they send you turns out to be fake and you're out of a lot of money. For my situation, the company that hired me told me to buy a laptop printer, scanner, and a time tracker of high internet speed for work from home data representative. That's 100% a scam. No legit company asks you to lay out money to buy basic office equipment. This question is asked literally every week on this sub. I promise you, it's a check cashing scam. Or I wanted to cover my bases. I'm at the point where they've sent a check and that should be pending arrival. What do I do about that? Don't do anything. Report the scam to your local police. I hope you didn't share any personal banking details or SSN. Oh, that's the social security number. So they hired you without completing an I-9 or other payroll information? Jesus. Well, a Google search would have answered that. And I keep coming back to this. What if this doc never had to exist? What if things worked out? What if we grew side by side? I don't think I'd be there writing any of this. I don't want to be writing this shit. I want my mind back. You have been growing like in parallels. You're just not friends. Get over it. This is degeneracy. I don't understand. And it has nothing to do, like, her putting herself in this desperate mindset made it that she got this job because that was too good to be true, and for anybody else it would have raised red flags, but her, because she was so strung out, I guess she jumped on the opportunity. I'm not even saying what if I got help sooner from her necessarily. I'm saying anyone I approached, I wasn't Sayu if I could have approached them. But model users were shown to be untrustworthy, so why would I? Model user, she doesn't want to use the term VTubers anymore because it's a slur, according to her. They didn't screw me, and I couldn't have known that until I built back up my trust even a little, but even by then I was still unsure. Feels like my whole life trajectory got thrown the hell off since then. But this one's on me, this job scam. I cannot think about it all replaying in my head like a bad dream. She's just hysterical. I hope you heal. Fuck even shit like this. She's still like pulling back the replies to Kumi on her post from like a year ago. This is also fucked. It's always so cartoonishly fucked. I can be honest, my community and YouTube and do everything right, but because I'm not using people, I don't make it. She's got someone afraid for his job, and I'm the fucking bad guy for wanting poor people to have a shot. Is this real life? Did I actually die on my self attempt? It's just a bad joke. I want to share proof, but this information is protected. I literally legally can't show you the police report beyond that. It's proof that I was looking for a job, though, I guess. I started wanting to be a mom. I can't phantom that I get to do that now, not while I'm in this current mess. And honestly, in hindsight, it could have been avoided. Think about it. Tear apart someone, trust in everyone who uses a model, therefore no connections. Therefore, apparently you don't grow, which is so gross. Therefore, no income if this is your only job. Therefore, no saving up, which leads into falling for a scam. Just wanted to be a normal person. I've said that so many times over the last few years, seeing so many people praise her like she didn't vilify such dehumanize me, then spin it on me like I'm the bad guy for calling out cloud chasing, get a group to shut me down, fuck me up so bad. Now someone's afraid for his job and somehow I'm the bad guy. June 11, 2026 entry. I'm still haunted by it all. Thankfully, I haven't heard shit about her, but she still pops up and I have to be like, get out of my head a lot. Oh my god, she's finally figuring it out that it's all in her head. After that job scam, I learned what fraud was, how to spot it, and my own mother admitted to using my info without me even knowing about it. I forgot why I ran away and went homeless the first time in Denver. I had to realize it recently. She's psychologically and emotionally abusive and now even financially. I don't know for how long it's been going on, but I might explain why at least 2 of my 3 years without a job happened. I've been quietly collecting my stuff with help from the internet. I cried to them for financial help for the job scam. They donated so much and I asked them when the check didn't bounce, is this okay to use if it's for this? They said yes, that I can repay them by being okay first and then later on doing something big for them. So I've been planning to run away again, and this time I'm not coming back. I hope I can find a place to live before the worst of winter. I want to be able to meet my future daughter. I have to keep that in the front of my mind when I'm out there. I won't have blood family anymore when I go this time, not with how info spreads in the family. No cousin, no siblings, no parents, even the ones I like. I'm losing everyone because someone wanted to be a felon and a narcissist. But I made peace with that. I had to. For all I know, I'll be essayed when I go, but I can't live with a felon. Oh, so she's talking about her mom? This is actually torture. This is what I've been trying to get away from all this time. What I told that harpy about briefly I wanted to get away from, I told her pieces enough to know. She wants to set a record straight. Her tweet on me that day, I called her out. This is the record. Still happy you called me a crazy birdie? Or when you joined in the dogpiling, Deja? Or Kyrie, when you dismissed it? I hope you heal, like that makes it all better. I can't even look at model users the same way anymore. I don't trust any of you. Not after this doc. You made me question myself, made me look insane, had me ask people again and again and again, was I wrong? Was I actually crazy? The answer is yes. Yes to all of those. Yes, you were wrong and you were crazy. You may not be a bad person, but you need to get off the internet. You need to seek help and some stability, and you need to stop comparing yourself to others and work on yourself. You're not entitled to success. You've been incredibly successful compared to most content creators and most VTubers that try to make it to this space, but you're obsessed. You're obsessed with large VTubers and tracking their growth and comparing yourself to them. Nobody goes into VTubing for money or to make a living out of it. That's why the first advice we always give people is to not go into this expecting this to be your main job. It's insanity. And there are other jobs you can do from home without moving. I have a friend that's like super agoraphobic. She found a job, does calls for a call center from home. And you don't need to pay 15K for a collab. You don't need to have tons of money to make it in the scene. As I said, the best VTubers have literally no overhead. You don't even need like fancy editing. You don't need to hire a team. You can teach yourself how to edit and do it yourself. Muujin does all of his edits. He's got 700K followers on YouTube, and he's a VTuber. I'm burning myself at both ends just to get video out for people who might be sad or hungry or cold. I might need something to put on to forget their troubles for a while. Who can rewatch them when things get hard, hoping that my content will get me at least to the next month. What, bro, what kind of community is that though? Are they all like just, it's like a self-pity community? It's like we're all just like, you know, feeling bad together. That sounds so depressing. I asked one of my friends what to do when I leave, if I was okay to text her when I was gone. Damn, look how easy that shit was. I ask you for tips if I need it, because I'm planning to run for a second time. I hate in this house, or even if you don't have any, just popping in, okay? Accept help when it comes very, very humbly. Be polite and well-mannered, and you got this. Asking if she's ever been in a shelter. This friend was there during the art pricing post too. She never left. No one else did. Yeah, I changed my name to Vera. I changed after I dropped the space in Twitter. That and being called hysterical left a rough taste. And then there was another friend. She had a birthday recently, and even though I feel so grossed out by Twitch now, I still went to go see her stream there and wish her happy birthday. I dropped the space, not my friends. I told her that. She said, "That's very sweet of you. Thank you. It's nice that even though you don't like the space anymore, you still came to say hi." Yeah, well, I had a lady tell me that she liked my shoes the other day, and the grocery store person told me that I have a nice smile whenever I come around and I chat with her. See, chat, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Everybody says so. And you guys tell me that I'm funny sometimes in comments. I hope you guys remember that. But no, when I'm asking for help, I have to be a villain and entitled, right? When you okay, this is just some unhinged rant, man. My voice is giving out. My point is she knew I was not doing okay. It was publicly known that I wasn't, then dropped me. Half a year later, I saw a problem coming. She vilified me, had a group, vilified me, probably had who knows who else vilify me, and while I'm dealing with household abuse, mental emotional attacks from my own mother, and barely any content, only income from my only job. Okay, but and after false discords where people even call my abuse pathetic on my part, I stopped trusting anyone with a model if they weren't already my friends. Wait, the people that called it pathetic though, they didn't have a model, they were just a community. Just like insanity. Also, like your problems, people don't owe you friendship because you have hardships. Like you can sympathize with people's hardship, but you can't force a friendship. You can't force people to be friends with you. You do know abuse victims are basically made in the lab to detect patterns, right? And then I'm open about that. I'm still in it. I'm taking hits for people at no benefit to me, and the space itself says I'm entitled for wanting the bare minimum. I was the one who tried to warn people so they could keep their trust in people. I didn't gain shit from it. In fact, if I told you this was a paragraph about Cinder, you'd believe it, right? Hilarious, because this paragraph is actually talking about Kumi. What? Numbers tells a compelling story of steady growth and engagement. For over 51K followers and more than 5K subs, she's managed to build something that not many streamers chased for years. A recent streaming session have consistently pulled in nearly 1K average viewers, with peak audience reaching over 1.3K. The level of consistent engagement speaks to more than just entertainment value, suggests a genuine connection with her community that extends beyond stream itself. No, actually, I wouldn't have think this about Cinder. This is an article about a VTuber that's being successful. Hello? She's like, yeah, she's just like flipping Cinder. How long must this go on? We all read her doc. She just needs to receive help. She's crazy. Yet 80 plus people believe me, and I hope they wouldn't. I still went to my chat asking them if I was wrong. I went to my connection asking if I was wrong. To my real friends, no one said no. And still, I kept second guessing myself. She's replying to everybody in caps here. To her, like, to the haters' voices in her head. I'm a broke abuse survivor who cares about the poor that you vilified so you look good. Trying to guilt trip them. What is this insane guilt trip? I'm getting to the point of turning to a chatbot for advice rather than real people, because at least the bot isn't gonna be biased. Or if I ask for it, well, it's going to be biased for you. If I ask for advice, it's gonna ignore me and pretend they never knew me while they go off to live a better life, and I'm still here struggling. Well, she subtweeted her multiple times. This is why they were saying they were slandering. This is why Kumi's friends were saying that she was slandering her. I've said this before to some people, and I forget if I have my peers that I know personally. If I get big before you do, I will help you grow too, and you can check me on that. I was in the shower this morning. I saw myself in the mirror, and compared to my friends I'm with, I just looked so starved and traumatized. I got so upset. Why am I the chihuahua with missing fur in our group? I can also have a full discussion with it versus the here's a point I want to make. Is it a good point in hearing crickets from humans? Maybe that's because your point is awful and they don't know how to tell you that. Because you sound so upset. I decided to make a video talking about my life and the negative things that happened to me as someone who lived through them. I wish I had an interesting stories that weren't trauma. Man, why are you so unterrorized? Now, I may not be a big name yet, but it's such a turn off for me, this attitude. Like, if I went to a VTuber space page as a new viewer and saw these tweets, so obsessed with numbers, so obsessed with becoming big, making it big. I feel like it's been repeated multiple times throughout this doc. I would feel so turned off by the VTuber. And pity only gets you so far. Like sad posting, it only gets you so far. You don't want to get pity. Here's a physical copy of me requesting my birth certificate so I can leave with nothing. Like, it could have been something, but nope. But like, this kind of stuff happens all the time, right? Falses Discord. So like, I don't know what you want from me. It's still going. Ah! I can't. Oh my goodness. Bro, this is like, I feel like I'm reading notes from the underworld, but with terrible grammar, more repetition, and it's not like eloquent the way he speaks, or the way she speaks. I'm done with this. Look, I hope you're safe once you run away. I think there's a lot of people that want you to stay alive and that you could do good things. And I hope that you get the family of your dreams. And I wish you good things in your life. And I hope you get the help you need. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.